There were some questions from my last post about how do I find the type of surgical grade steel to best use in my tattoo practice. My last video was about how there are microparticles of metal that are deposited into the skin during the tattoo process. Basically, when you're getting tattooed, that impact of the needle on the skin does so in a manner that breaks off teeny tiny little particles of metal into the skin. So here's how you can find from your manufacturer the best type of metal to use for the process. Okay, so why do you want to use this? I just covered that in the last video. By the way, this whole pitch deck is going to be on the scienceoftattooing.com. So if you want to read through it a little bit slower, please click on the link to the website and go to the blog, and we'll have it posted there. So you want to check the packaging. So when you get your blister package, your pre-sterilized package from the manufacturer, typically it's got some information on there. Usually it says the batch and the lot number. Sometimes manufacturers do not have anything about the type of steel, stainless steel that is produced for this process. That's okay. They're not required by law. If that's the case, you should go to the manufacturer's website. You can ask for any one of these documents. In the FAQ, they may have one of these documents. If they don't have it, contact the company. You can just send them an email, ask for something like this or their MTR. We'll cover MTR in the next slide. If a company does not get back to you, if they don't say anything, do not buy from that company. All right, here's an MTR. That's a mill test report. This is basically going to tell you the contents of your surgical steel. So what we want is surgical implant grade. Sorry, get a little thing there. Anyway, you see it. It's already highlighted. So usually you'll see this or the 316 labeled a little bit differently. We'll go over that in these coming slides. I would suggest you want surgical implant grade personally, but I highly suggest you also do your own research and look a little bit more. The reason I suggest the surgical grade steel is it may be a little bit more stable, but again, do your own research, because here's the thing, the 304 has a lower nickel content. And oftentimes, most clients that have metal sensitivity have a nickel allergy. And the nickel allergy may be dependent on how much nickel is in the tattoo needle. So you could have a significant contraindication, which means that when you're screening your client on their release form, you ask them if they have a known metal allergy. If they say, yes, I have a nickel allergy, you might not want to tattoo that person, and you need to make them aware of basically this like microparticle degradation of the needles and implantation, or, break off, whatever, exposure into the skin. Okay, so here's a breakdown of like what you might see after the number, and like what the number means basically for these surgical steel needles. And then here's just kind of a little bit of a recap. Anyway, as I said, go to the website. We're starting this stuff off. If you find this information interesting, please like, share, comment. I'll try to respond to all of your questions. Please do your own research, contact an LLM, do a Google search, talk to people, ask me, ask other people. Let's stay curious. Let's be the best educated practitioners we could possibly be.